TKO board member Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has opened up on his WWE WrestleMania 41 absence. The creative plans that called for him to be at Elimination Chamber, reportedly due to low ticket sales, getting a call from TKO CEO Ari Emanuel. His involvement in the John Cena heel turn, why he felt he wasn't needed in the Cody Rhodes John Cena storyline, and much more in this explosive interview today on the Pat McAfee Show. WWE reportedly were nervous after Stone Cold Steve Austin's ATV crashed into the barricade at WrestleMania. The WWE Universal Championship has officially been retired. Jeremy Borash reportedly be involved with AAA Lucha Libre after WWE's acquisition of the company. Trick Williams and others reportedly are under consideration for a main roster call-up. Kathy Kelly has been training at the Performance Center for a new on-screen role. We have the ratings for Friday's WrestleMania 41 Go-Home edition of Smackdown on USA Network, and WWE's reaction to Cody Rhodes being booed over WrestleMania 41 weekend has been revealed. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Before we get into today's stories, you can see right there, we are at 21,311 subscribers. We're now on the road to 25k, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. You can also join the WN365 roster, links in the video description. You can click the join button or scan the QR code whilst it appears on the sidebar right there. Speaking of the sidebar, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows that we have upcoming here live on the channel. Let's get straight into a major story here because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he was a name that many people were talking about over WrestleMania weekend, in particular when he didn't show up at WrestleMania on Sunday. And now The Rock has revealed why he wasn't at WrestleMania, where he was during that period of time, and also his road to WrestleMania and why he appeared at all in the build to it. Now, ahead of WWE Elimination Chamber, The Rock appeared on WWE television to ask Cody Rhodes for his soul. Rhodes declined Rock's offer at Elimination Chamber, but John Cena sold his soul to The Rock and took Rhodes out to set up the main event for WrestleMania 41. Now, despite The Rock's involvement at Elimination Chamber, he was not on television leading to WrestleMania 41 and was not at the Premium Live event itself over Saturday and Sunday this past weekend. Speaking today on the Pat McAfee Show, The Rock addressed the lead-up to WrestleMania 41 and why he wasn't involved. He said, quote, "I got a call about a month before Elimination Chamber. I get a call from Ari Emanuel, who owns TKO. He said, we need help at Elimination Chamber. Ticket sales a little slow, but beyond that, what we are finding is it's become a pay-per-view that is interesting, fans have had fun, but it also is the conduit to WrestleMania. How do we create an Elimination Chamber that people must tune in to see? How do we create that? Right now, we don't have that. Will the final boss show up?" I said, "Let me give it some thought and I'll get back to you." I gave it some thought. I got back to Ari, Triple H, Nick Khan, and we had a call. I said, "I have an idea. The most important thing to the final boss isn't money, titles, fame. Been there, done that, and grateful for that. The final boss wants your soul." What does that mean? That doesn't mean the final boss wants you to act like this or be like this as beck and call or treat you like crap or make you do all these things that are unbecoming or embarrassing. That's not how the final boss flies. What that means is whatever dreams Cody Rhodes has, whatever ambitions, even if they're dark, amazing, full of light, scary, whatever they are, you tell the final boss and he makes it all happen. When it comes to giving the final boss your soul, that is what you want, not what the final boss wants. What does the final boss get out of that? Your soul for life. Now we go into Elimination Chamber with this idea of, will Cody Rhodes sell his soul to the final boss? My thought at the time was it was a litmus test to find out how fans will respond to Cody if he sold his soul to the final boss. Let's get a temperature check on this. Establish it. Anchor it in. And you come and to find out that there were a lot of fans saying, sell your soul. I was an advocate of that. Not turning heel soon, but eventually down the line. I like the idea of that because Cody is a smart and intelligent guy, a ring general, and this idea that you give him a reason to turn way down the road, you give him a reason to turn not based on titles, but it's his soul, what that means, that affects generations. It's transcendent beyond pro wrestling. Fans were loving it. As we got closer to Elimination Chamber, we were kicking ideas around, myself and Triple H, Nick, my team. Triple H said, "What about John turning?" I said, "I love it. The next question is talking to John and see how he feels about it." John loved the idea of turning heel, but he said there is an anchor that he was going to root it in, which was a real thing he's experienced over the past 25 years. When we were moving forward with John and this idea that would crown him at 17 and being a heel champion, I knew then the best thing for the final boss, we've established this idea of Cody Soul, we can always come back to it. I did feel, and I made the call, I don't want to be involved in that. Let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John and Cody. Let's not make it about Cody Soul or John Soul. Let's let them do what they want to do. I called John after Elimination Chamber, called Cody, and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We've established it. We've pulled off the greatest angle in the history of professional wrestling, other than Hulk Hogan turning heel. We have 6 weeks. Now let's build. You guys go and crush it. I'll be right there with you, and I'm always here if you need me, but I think it's best for the final boss not to be involved in that finish. They had 6 weeks to plan for that. I loved the finish of the match. I would have finessed things a little differently on how they got there, but that's just me creatively. Ultimately, the bottom line is, I love John getting 17. I never had a concern about John pulling this off. My thoughts were always to Cody and what we've established with him and his story and the kind of babyface that he is. If done right, if finessed right, and nuanced right, down the road, that guy not only has an incredible run against as a babyface champion, but also an unheard of run as a heel down the road. Now, McAfee then asked if there was ever a conversation about him appearing during the build or the match, saying that fans and WWE would always welcome The Rock being around. Quote, no. They don't have to say anything like that to me. They know when I come to them and lay this out, here's how I feel it should go. We can insert final boss into the end of this finish, but then where do we go? There are other commitments that I have, and I want to be careful that we're not overstepping. I can get involved in the finish, but why get involved in the finish when the spotlight should just be on John 17, heel champion? What does 2025 look like if this man is saying he's going to ruin pro wrestling? That, to me, is the anchoring storyline. It's not Soul. Right now, it's not. But we'll get back to it. I was surprised to see Travis Scott as well, and the moment I saw Travis, it immediately amplified, here comes the final boss. They were waiting. I love John Cena, heel champion. The GOAT says he's going to ruin wrestling. Some parts of it I would have adjusted, said The Rock. Now, as of right now, it's unknown if or when The Rock will return to WWE television. Now, there has been criticism of some of the things that The Rock has said in this interview, suggesting that he has basically played out that Triple H's creative wasn't working going into Elimination Chamber, and the big boss of TKO called him just to move tickets. There have been other people saying that this explanation was needed, considering The Rock wasn't at WrestleMania. However, others are suggesting that this is The Rock subtly distancing himself and burying the creative that was widely criticized over the weekend. What are your thoughts on all of it? Let me know your reaction to The Rock's comments here in the comments section below. Now, a bit of a nervous moment over WrestleMania weekend involved Stone Cold Steve Austin's appearance at WrestleMania. There is nervousness within WWE following Stone Cold Steve Austin's crash into the barricade on night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Austin appeared before the main event of WrestleMania, driving to the ring on an ATV quad bike. Austin was rambunctious while driving around the ringside area, and he didn't turn in time, crashing into the barricade and knocking back a woman sitting in the front row. WWE President Nick Khan rushed over to speak to the fan while Steve Austin announced the WrestleMania attendance. Austin then spoke to the fan after the segment, although it is unknown what he said. The matter over Austin's crash may not be settled, however. Brian Alvarez has reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE are nervous following the crash. Quote, I heard they're nervous about this one, as they probably should be. It was right on camera and it's all over Twitter. Everyone's seen it, Alvarez said. Fightful Select noted that any updates on the situation may be kept very quiet. WrestleMania 41 was Austin's first appearance on WWE TV since WrestleMania 38. Austin came out of retirement at that event, defeating Kevin Owens in a street fight, and Stone Cold hit Vince McMahon with obviously one of the worst stunners in history on night 2 of the show. Now, the WWE Universal Championship is no more. While the title had not been active on WWE programming since WrestleMania 40, WWE have now officially retired the Universal Championship. The Universal title page on WWE.com lists the championship as retired as of Tuesday, April 22nd. WWE have also written Cody Rhodes' time as Universal Champion out of their official history, with Roman Reigns now listed as the final Universal Champion. The change was made very recently, as Cody Rhodes was listed as Universal Champion on WWE.com on Monday, April 21st, and his reign was recognized on the company's website. Since updating the website to feature John Cena as undisputed WWE Champion, though, Rhodes' reign as Universal Champion has been scrubbed from the Universal title's official history. The Universal title was unified with the WWE Championship when Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar at 2022's WrestleMania 38, with the belt being known as the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The Universal part of the title was dropped after Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, but Cody was still recognized as the Universal Champion and undisputed WWE Champion on WWE's website until April 22nd. The Universal Championship was created following the reintroduction of WWE's brand split in 2016. Former champions include Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, and of course Roman Reigns. Now, of course, a big story over WrestleMania weekend was WWE's acquisition of Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide, and WWE are set to have an influence on Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide creative following the announcement of WWE's acquisition of the Mexican promotion over WrestleMania 41 weekend. WWE's acquisition of AAA will not be officially completed until later this year, but WWE's influence looks set to begin as soon as possible, with Lucha Libre Online reporting that Jeremy Borash will be involved with AAA Creative as a WWE representative. Borash has been part of WWE since 2018, and he primarily serves as the Senior Director of Content and Development. Borash has also worked on WWE LFG as a commentator alongside Vic Joseph. Borash has been involved with pro wrestling for decades, working backstage and as an on-air talent in WCW. He later joined TNA Wrestling in 2002, remained with the company until Borash headed to WWE in 2018. Whether WWE plan to make changes to AAA's current creative remains to be seen. Lucha Blog noted that AAA have been building to Alberto El Patron versus Latin Lover, or a champion of Latin Lover, at Triple Mania for months. The match would have had Dorian Roldan's hair on the line, and the plan was for Roldan to have his head shaved. AAA could be set for a rebrand, though. One option that has been discussed within WWE would see AAA be renamed to WWE NXT Mexico. Speaking of NXT, we could have some call-ups coming soon to the main roster from WWE's developmental brand. Several WWE NXT talents appeared on the Raw after WrestleMania 41, including Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Gigi Doling, and Tatum Paxley. Some of those appearances look to be official main roster call-ups, notably Julia and Roxanne Perez, and there are reportedly more main roster call-ups on the horizon. According to Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net, there have been talks within WWE about Trick Williams moving to the main roster, and he is expected to be called up to either Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Williams is a former NXT champion and North American champion, and he has been one of the top talents on NXT for the past 18 months. Lola Vice is also under consideration for a WWE main roster call-up, according to Hayes. Vice signed with WWE in 2022, moving to pro wrestling from MMA. She hasn't won a title on NXT, but Vice has previously challenged for the NXT Women's Championship and NXT Women's North American title. We could be set for a new role for Kathy Kelly on WWE TV. Kathy Kelly could transition to a different role on WWE programming in the future. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Kelly has been training at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida for some time, which includes in-ring training and promo classes. Kelly is training so she can transition to a managerial role should the opportunity present itself. Kelly revealed in November 2024 that she was open to being a manager on WWE TV, telling Before the Bell, quote, "I would definitely be open to managing if it is the right pairing. That is something that I would love to grow into, whether that's, tomorrow, whether that's a decade down the line. I do really see myself involved in WWE, in wrestling, in some way throughout my entire career." Now, Kelly has worked for WWE across 2 runs since 2016, serving as a backstage interviewer. She is currently an on-screen personality on Monday Night Raw, having moved back to Monday nights in February of 2024. Now we have the ratings for Friday's episode of SmackDown. The WWE SmackDown Go Home show for WrestleMania 41 saw a sizable increase in the overall viewership and an even bigger gain in the key demographic ratings, registering the highest rating since returning to the USA Network. The April 18th, 2025 show saw viewership rise to 1.741 million, which is a 12% gain over last week's 1.551 million, as per Programming Insider. The show was only second behind the NBA playoffs game between the Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks, which drew 1.798 million overall viewers. The 1.741 million figure is also the joint highest, tied with the March 7, 2025 episode for the Blue brand since its move to USA Network last September. Friday night show was also 17% higher than the trailing 4-week average for SmackDown. SmackDown's key demographic ratings were even more impressive as it delivered a 0.55 rating, 22% higher than last week's 0.45 rating and 28% higher than the 4-week average. The 0.55 rating means that this show is the highest rated show since WWE moved back to the USA Network last year, with the previous highest rating being the August 16, 2024 show. While the show was second in the 18-49 key demographic behind the NBA game, it was ranked number 1 in the 25-45 demo ahead of the Heat-Hawks game. The star-studded SmackDown show, which was the final stop before WrestleMania 41, saw the likes of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Randy Orton, and the women's title match competitors Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky in promo segments, while the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the Tag Team Championship match also took place on the show. This week's upcoming episode will feature the fallout of WrestleMania 41 and will emanate from Dickies Arena, where a TLC match for the WWE Tag Team titles is scheduled to take place. Finally, Cody Rhodes received a mixed reception over WrestleMania weekend. In the run-up to WrestleMania 41, Cody Rhodes found himself on the receiving end of boos when he cut a promo on the go-home edition of SmackDown on April 18th. Rhodes received a smattering of boos during his promo segment on the show, but managed to ultimately turn them around. A report from Fightful Select suggests that WWE were expecting Rhodes to be booed at some point, noting it could have happened at any point in the last 3 years. That's not a reflection of Rhodes, more about the changing nature of audience attitudes and how modern wrestling fans can be unpredictable when it comes to how they react to certain wrestlers, matches, or segments. Cody has been largely universally loved since returning to WWE at WrestleMania 38 in 2022, a far cry from the end of his run in All Elite Wrestling. AEW fans turned on Rhodes in their droves, with AEW and Rhodes seemingly reluctant to leaning to the apathy and trigger a full-on heel turn for the American Nightmare. Of course, Rhodes dropped the WWE Championship to John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania 41 Night 2, Rhodes' 4th WrestleMania main event match. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As you can see right there, we're at 21,311 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestle News Universe. You can scan the QR code that's on the sidebar right there and join the WN365 roster. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. Whilst you're checking out the sidebar, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs and post-shows that we're going to be streaming live here on the channel, including Backlash and Double or Nothing in the month of May. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.